Hey, I'm back with another video. It's 8:12. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. I'm not really in the Christmas spirit, but I do have a lot of time on my hands. So, I was talking to my son earlier, and he was like, he's the kind of person, he always wants to put some positive energy into something. When I get one of my moods, like how I was today, I'm like, screw it all. I did go to the store today because I kept thinking I was going to make chocolate dipped pretzels for the holiday season. I was going to go into the whole tradition of pretzels, where they originated, what they symbolize, whatever on a I wanted to get into this holiday season, but things don't always work out the way that they you want them to. But I did go to Walmart, and of course everything was picked over, and I got into the holiday spirit in the last minute. But at least, hey, I did try to make some effort. I did just pick up some, like, you know some basic candy or whatever. And he's sitting here looking at it like you could have picked up something like some chicken, or like make something for dinner. Like, yeah. I've always been like that because I feel like, my mood, I've had to deal with things in my life that I just really piss me off. And when I get like that, I just kind of want to shut down and just whatever. So I'm not always, little bit positive. Would I say my son's more positive than me? That's great. I'm not one of those people. It's a good thing that he is so positive. Anyway, we all need that, right? So I was thinking about my earlier Christmases when I was a kid. I always reflect back on my holidays when I was a kid, because I will say, though, they were rather pleasant. And my adoptive parents, when I was younger, I think they really enjoyed, playing with Santa Claus type stuff, playing that game over on us, and I enjoyed it because I fully believed that there was a Santa Claus, and was quite disappointed to find out there wasn't one. But anyway, on Christmas Eve, we would listen to, the classic Christmas songs, which I still love to this day. And I was going to turn them on. I kept thinking, it's just going to put me in a bad mood. It's just going to make me wind down into other things that are bothering me. So I'm just going to skip the Christmas music, and I'm just going to opt for, my standard 70s, 60s, 70s oldies, which is, quite therapeutic at times. I was thinking earlier today, about, it's unfortunate that this was a racial issue, but it is what it is. And I think, throughout the years, I've learned how to deal with racism. And, for any of the black listeners, I know that you guys deal with it too. And, I don't believe that violence is really the answer. We just have to accept that this is hell. I mean, deal with things as they come along, but do understand that this is hell, and there's demonic forces on this earth, and you have to deal with them. And I know that I've dealt with a lot of them in my life. And, it was funny because, like, I was thinking about one of the jobs that I was working at Edwards Air Force Base, and I had this, like, boss that came in. He wasn't the original boss, but he was like the new boss that replaced the original boss. And of course, he was one of those racist assholes, right? Total dick. Um, and the funny thing about racist people is, once you call them out for being a racist, and I'm just gonna advise other racist people who are watching my channel, that is the stupidest thing you could ever do. If you're gonna try to cover your tracks, you don't sit here and try to butter up to another black person to try to prove that you're not racist, because everybody knows that. Everybody fucking knows your game. You know what I mean? So it's like your racism is so fucking predictable. We have it down pat. Like, we've seen it all before, all of it. And so, like, when people try to, like, find other reasons for why they hate you, um, you know what it is. And when you deal with somebody who just says something outright stupid, just be kind enough to let them know that you understand that they're racist, and please get the fuck away from you kindly, and just cut them out of your life. You don't need that garbage. You know what I mean? And it can be done in a very peaceful, tactful way. Nobody needs to hear that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, life is more difficult as it is, and you certainly don't need, thoughtless people just dumping their insecurities on you. It's bullshit. But I've dealt with that all my life, and you know, for whatever reason, it was just kind of coming through my mind. I guess it's because I'm winding down and I'm starting to think about, you know, how obvious it was that I was being followed for such a very long time and the reasons why I was being targeted. You know, it's funny. I believe that obviously I have traits within me from living many, many years, and also just because of my bloodline. And this is not me being arrogant in any way. Okay, I do understand that I am of what I guess what you would call superior stock. You know what I mean? Um, and they knew this when I was, I guess, created. And so, you know, everything to somebody who has a racist agenda, they're going to take it on a racist level, you know. And I have never been somebody who, you know, affiliated with what they call like black pride groups or anything like that. I've always just kind of minded my business. But you will be surprised because they want to stir like the racist issue. They want to sit here and like accuse you of paying the race card every time they abuse you, and you don't even know what's going on, and they just like go over. When you deal with that, you know you're dealing with the demonic forces that rule this earth. It's that fucking simple. So make sure that you just kindly excuse yourself, remind them that you understand what they are, and back the fuck away. You know what I mean? And like I said, you know, not all white people are bad, but they can easily be influenced, especially when it's in that herd type mentality. You know, I certainly would not have, you know, I don't like living on the earth. I fucking hate it. Like today I went to Walmart. It's just, you know, I can't deal with negativity. The negative stuff. Not that people were being rude. There was some sort of weird confrontation that was going on. Not with me. But, you know, in the checkout aisle, and people always have their issues or drama and whatever. It's like, it's too chaotic. It's too much. You know, I've never been into politics. I've never tried to solve world problems or put my faith into people who claim that they can or anything like that. I do accept this planet for what it is. You know what I mean? It is hell, you know? And, you know, when you're dealing with unfair treatment from people who constantly press the issue, you know, you're not dealing with just somebody who's being a little rude or being harassing. These people are outright fucking demonic. So just beware of that, and you know, protect yourself and make sure that you do, you know, stand up for yourself, but always do so in a respectful way, and always do so in a way that's blameless to make it obvious that they're the one with the problem. That's just how you have to handle it. So anyway, I was dealing with some more intuitive messages, you know, and this is what I pretty much decided to focus on today because, you know, there's really not much for me else to do. You know, we know that something's going on with my Patreon channel. It's been going on for quite a while. Um, I'm trying to post another video on there. It's slugging out my content. You know, it angers me because everything is such a controversy, you know, and it's sad because um, obviously there was a big push to a fight, I guess. It's a spiritual warfare, you know, that spiritual warfare that you were that people, a lot of people talk about, you know, that I really didn't pay too much attention to. But the more I start thinking about this is like definitely spiritual warfare, where people basically try to control your soul. They want to tell you how to worship, who your God is, how you should see them, how you should conduct yourself to appease their God that they chose for you. Um, your soul is not just the ethereal body, but it's also your personality, and that's a part of the spiritual warfare. Sorry, spiritual warfare that takes place. You know, so you just have to be aware of it and protect yourself. Yeah, some people use the term "stay prayed up" or whatever. Do what you have to do in order to feel safe, you know, in your own home, because you know this is what's going on right now with people being targeted and stuff like that. To me, I take this very seriously. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I'm going to go into the messages that I got. First message that I got was that that my father's spirit seems very content and happy because he's being acknowledged as a good man. He does deserve that sort of respect, and people really should be ashamed of the way that they treated this man. They should be ashamed of how they treated him. You know,
I would say that when I say he was a good man, I'm not saying he was a perfect man. I'm not even saying he was a righteous man, but he had no more flaws than the average man. But whether he be black or white, he was a good man. You know what I mean? And he always tried to take care of his responsibilities. He didn't deserve to be terrorized to death, threatened to death, bullied to death, because that's exactly what I was remembering his retirement party. And I remember my sister Tanya making the comment about how everybody was acting like they were being like kind of like assholes, you know. And I didn't really know what was going on. I just kept thinking, well, maybe they're racist or something. I had no idea that people were like so much against my father. You know what I mean? And for the people who mistreated my father, fuck you a million times over. Seriously. And the people who decided it was okay to come back and try to target me for some bullshit, fuck you too. Inside and out. You can kiss my fucking black ass. Seriously. Anyway, I really needed to say that. And I'm right to say that. Don't sit here and act like I'm not. We all know that I am. And everybody else around knows that too. Um, I got this message in my mind about the old house that my family used to have. I do believe that there was some talk about me acquiring that home. I don't know what's going on with that house. Initially, it didn't. The idea did not appeal to me, but something in me is saying, check it out. I did call the law office. I did get a notification in the mail. I did call the law office on it, and they basically said there's some sort of court hearing, I guess, in January. She said they were going to have somebody follow up on that. But see, the thing is, when you're targeted and shit's getting manipulated behind the scene, they don't follow up on it. So they didn't follow up on it. And of course, I don't deserve to be dicked around over some fucking, situation. And this is how people act. I'm not sure if the property. I understand that the property probably is deemed worthless, mainly because of my father, the targeting, the whatever. And so, but that doesn't matter to me. If I do acquire the house, I do think that it needs a lot of repair work and some renovations. I would be open to taking the house. I guess I don't know, but something's telling me to look further into it. I did what I did on my part, okay. And just like most customer service representatives, if it was an oversight on her part to not pass that message along, that's typical of people who work in customer service. If I was being purposely ignored because of it, just because of some racist bullshit and some sort of like little secret agenda against me, fuck you too. The next one is that I believe political leaders in this country. I'm not going to name the political leaders, but they basically are kind of siding with me on this issue. I didn't have anything to do with this, and people obviously know I'm just got sucked up into something I never wanted to be a part of. But this is one of the messages that I'm getting. You know, I don't know what else to say other than this is what my evening is going to consist of, just kind of sitting around getting messages. I might even be doing another video later on tonight because I'm going to be very bored. I am having some problems sleeping lately because my legs have been very cramped, so I need to get out and start stretching them a little bit. I don't give a fuck. They don't like it. It's like, I don't know who in the world wanted me to stay in the house. Well, they're trying to keep me in the house because I'm a clone. Is that what it is? I don't know what their issue was, or maybe the people who were trying to compete against me were threatened because I was walking and they thought that I was trying to take care of my body. Whether I was walking because I was bored and wanted to get the fuck out of the house, or I was trying to take care of my body, that's my own goddamn business. Okay? I think it's funny when, people who claim to be Christian, and I'm not bashing people who are overweight by any means, okay? But the Bible clearly says, that gluttony is something that is considered to be sin and looked down upon, but they want to sit here and bully you with their bullshit. I can't tell you how ridiculous it really got. Um, what else did I want to say? I think that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to be up for quite a while, posting videos here and there. I can't say that. I would say that I like to say that somebody who experienced this sort of negative um, one issue after another, it could literally make a person die, which I do believe this was what their purpose was. Okay, I do believe that was their purpose. I refuse to die by somebody else's hand. You know what I mean? And I refuse to be bullied and mistreated and undermined for whatever, you know what I mean? However things end up in my life, I'm going to speak up for myself. And obviously I've been dealt a terrible injustice. You know what I mean? Apparently there's other people who've been dealt a terrible injustice. Targeting people is just getting out of control. You know, we don't expect to be creeped up upon, in our own country under these sort of like circumstances. It's just it's crazy. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. Maybe I might do some artwork or something. I was gonna make another spirit doll today. I realized I kept thinking I should have got some stuff at Walmart. I wasn't able to think at Walmart. I just pissed off because I couldn't find the pretzels that I was looking for, and all the people in there. It was just too much. You know what I mean? I was too emotional anyway. So my trip to Walmart didn't really end up the way that I wanted it to. Neither did my holiday, but I'm making the best of it. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.